Hello, everyone. Good evening. What a pleasure to be here with all of you. Okay, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous. And it's not just because I'm in a room that is such an esteemed group of people in front of me, but because I've been given the very difficult task of boiling down such an impactful career and such an impactful person in my life. And I have to do this in 5 minutes. So bear with me as we get started. No clinking of the glass. My colleagues, it is a great honor to be here to present the Life Sciences Ontario Lifetime Achievement Award for 2022. Recipients of this great honor encompass the following attributes. They are highly respected leaders who have inspired and have led Ontario's life sciences community to imagine bigger and a better future for our sector. They are individuals who have made a significant contribution in more than one domain of Ontario life sciences, including industry, government, academia, volunteerism, and so on. And I think you would all agree with me that Ronnie embodies these characteristics and so much more. He joined Roche Canada from the Roche Global Organization in 2000 and helped to transform the local affiliate into a global biotechnology enterprise which stands as a symbol for Canadian talent, for Canadian innovation, and for R&D excellence. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know many leaders who stay in one organization for 33 years. And for me, that is just a testament to his dedication, to his commitment, and to his leadership. I count myself among the many people across our industry, many of you are in the room as well today, that have had the great pleasure of working alongside Ronnie, learning from him, and most importantly, the ability to call him a mentor and a friend. And that's because while Ronnie has been devoted and a fierce Roche champion and advocate, he's also been a fierce advocate of the life sciences sector here in Ontario. And we've always been at the top of his mind. Ronnie's early exposure to the healthcare industry was a matter of geography. Having grown up across the street from a hospital in Glasgow, Scotland, and under the care of a mother who was a volunteer nurse, he believes that the success of any healthcare system is dependent on its ability to understand and respond to the evolving needs of its patients. In fact, the hospital in Glasgow was where Ronnie held his first job as a porter at the age of 15 and continued to work throughout his years at university. This early exposure helped spark his passion for helping patients and drove his interest in the pharmaceutical industry, which began at the age of 21 in London. With some years under his belt, Ronnie joined Roche and his career flourished, from roles in the UK to Switzerland to Japan and to Canada, here where he has been president and CEO for 22 years. His exceptional career is a testament to his hard work and, as Ronnie puts it, his fiercely competitive nature. And while I know you expect me to reference golf at this moment, what is most important for me is how he channels his competitive spirit to advocate for Canada, to advocate for Ontario, to advocate for diversity in leadership, to advocate for our tremendous, tremendous potential as a sector. To those of us who know him well, we know that what truly drives Ronnie and provides him with one of his greatest senses of achievement is developing others and watching them meet their full potential, even when they didn't know they had it themselves. And I say one of his greatest achievements because we all know his one true love, and that's his family. And if you know Ronnie, then you know that his dedication to people into diversity starts at home. When you get to meet his incredibly supportive, thoughtful, loving family, all of whom are women, by the way, then you understand his pride. You understand that his fierce advocacy for women in leadership roles is as personal as it is professional. And I want to acknowledge Colette and Sophie and Lauren and Chloe for being such an important part of Ronnie's journey. Colleagues, we get to do the incredibly rewarding, yet incredibly time-consuming roles that we have because we have families that are supportive, that are there, that care, and that allow us the time to care for others. So a big thank you to all of you for that work and for that support. And while I'm sure Ronnie would like to continue for me to have the spotlight on others, it's time to put the spotlight on him. We are so proud to celebrate with you, so proud to celebrate you, to thank you, and to honor you. And in doing so, we've put together a little film that's going to roll, and then I'll come back and just give you a few more achievements before we ask Ronnie to take the stage. Colleagues, over his career, Ronnie has been an inspiration, as you just heard, to many, and his contributions to the sector and to society at large are tremendous. Allow me just to highlight a few. Ronnie has personally been responsible for ensuring a significant commitment to research and jobs in Canada, in Ontario, in our life sciences sector. Most recently, in 2020, Roche announced an investment of 500 highly skilled jobs over 5 years to establish Roche's Global Pharma Technical Operations site in Mississauga. This announcement will bring our footprint in Ontario to 1,500 employees. And in Canada, when we add our tremendous colleagues from Roche Diagnostics and Roche Diabetes Care, we stand proud at 1,800 employees. Ronnie also served as a board member of Innovative Medicines Canada for 20 years, including as chair in 2008, 2020, and 2021. And Ronnie has always been transparent and a willing collaborator across public and private sectors, always advocating for the value of innovation and the importance of it being available to patients and to their families across the country and for generations to come. Ronnie has shown exceptional leadership and contributions to the development of the life sciences sector in Canada through his passion for improving the quality of life for Canadians, challenging the status quo of our healthcare systems and our industry, and developing the talent of today to be the leaders of tomorrow. Ronnie, as a mentor and an advocate for me personally, and as a leader to all of us in industry, he embodies the importance of integration of ideas and integration of efforts, collaboration within and across industries, respect among colleagues, championing equality, seeking and embracing diversity, and working together beyond ourselves for the greater good. Ronnie is leaving a tremendous legacy, and my only ask of all of us is that we don't forget the lessons that he has taught us. That when we come together as a sector, we are stronger with our voices united than separated. We are stronger together, and we have an important role to play as a life sciences sector in ensuring a strong, sustainable, innovative sector, and a strong, resilient healthcare system across the country. And I think the biggest gift we could give him is to remember those lessons and to follow in his footsteps. And so, he is a futurist, He is a mentor. He is an advocate. He is a father. He is a husband. He is a friend. And as you just heard, he's also a Canadian now. Ronnie Miller, following a remarkable career and a lifetime of impact, it is my great honor to present you with the 2022 Life Sciences Ontario Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations.
Well, what can you say to that? You know, I think the definition of real power is when you're there at the very end of an evening to make a speech and everyone's limos and taxis are waiting outside. So I think most of it's already been said, but let me try and make a few remarks and get you on your way. Brigitte, thank you, and good evening, everyone. Almost good morning now. I'm incredibly grateful and certainly very honored to be receiving this award this evening. Congratulations to all the award winners and all the winners who stood on this podium ahead of me. The work you do, that we do, individually for the respective organizations and in service of the sciences community is unheralded. And I think we have to continue to work together, as Brigitte said earlier, to make this meaningful in the future. I'm humbled to be given this Lifetime Achievement Award. You know you're about to retire or have retired when people start talking about lifetime achievements. But I think ultimately what we have to maintain is a focus of passion and intent, and to work together with governments to continue to put Canada on the map. Our competition comes from other jurisdictions, other countries, other areas. And if we're selfish and try and do it alone, it's not enough. We have to do it together. So Jason and Mark from Life Sciences Ontario, thank you for this recognition. And perhaps more to thank you for your leadership in this sector. I think it's been mentioned by previous presenters this evening, but you know, I think it has to go and be recognized that you've done a wonderful job, and we've just got to keep working at it, even when people like myself and Mark and Paul retire. So thank you, Jason, and the LSO team. I think you've been recognized earlier, but another round of applause would do no harm. I'm also humbled to be joined by friends and former colleagues who received these Lifetime Achievement Awards during my time in the industry here. Both Mark Levonen, who received this very honor in 2014, and Paul Lucas, who was the 2020 Lifetime Achievement Award honoree, and are joining us here this evening. The lessons I learned and hopefully shared alongside Mark and Paul, and so many others in this industry, are the foundations of success of this industry. And moving forward, we need to continue to invest in people, take the time to build relationships, and collaborate in order to show up as a united front. And you'll hear this again and again, and there's an old adage about making a presentation: tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you've told them. But I cannot say enough, we have to collaborate. Dividing and separating is not going to make us successful as an industry. And this captures my relationship with Russell. And Russell, thank you, because I know that you, as president of the association, we worked together when I was board. You were very much behind this recognition for me this evening. Now, Russell and I first met 20 years ago, and I learned so much from Russell in terms of Canadian politics, both at provincial and federal level, because I was a novice. I came from the UK, I traveled the world, and really knew nothing about politics. And Russell taught me a lot about the provinces in the country, and we traveled a lot together over Canada, giving very, very strong messages to government. We also shared a few bottles of malt whiskey over that time, and in fact, at the beginning, I think we did more for the malt whiskey business than we did for pharmaceuticals, but ultimately, I think we've been successful in the long run. And what Russell taught me about government, I continued that relationship with Pamela Freilich when Pamela took over from Russell in 2016. And there's no question that collaboration with Pamela, myself, the board, and all of the colleagues here in the room helped us get that PMPRB word over the line. I think it's a fantastic achievement. It was a long time coming. We fought like crazy. But finally, we see the light at the end of the tunnel. And and ultimately, should be a source of pride for all of us, and let's hope that they stick with it and don't change their mind as governments tend to do. Now, being here this evening in a room with all of us together, I cannot help but reflect on how this is made possible after these 2 years of isolation, fear, uncertainty, illness and death at the hands of COVID-19. And quite simply, the reason that we're coming out of it is because of the contribution of life sciences, and I really believe the government recognizes that. As Jason called out in the recent LSO annual report, members stepped up and continue to do so during the pandemic, from delivering PPE, as mentioned earlier, diagnostic tools. And Roche is a big diagnostic company. My colleague, Andy Plank, is here this evening, who runs that diagnostic division. These do the molecular tests, they do the PCR tests. And finally, our diagnostic division stepped out from underneath pharmaceuticals and had their place in the sunshine. And I think diagnostics will play a very important role in personalized medicine in the future. So it's the contribution of the life sciences sector that's got us out of this mess, and I think we should really appreciate that too. Now this global, thank you. The current health crisis only reinforced the importance of strengthening life sciences, especially here in Canada. Now, life sciences and the bioeconomy, we live through this Canadian healthcare system, through agriculture, food supply, environmental protection, represent the greatest opportunity for economic growth in this province. And I really believe the government recognise that. So even if it changes, I hope the future governments recognise it too. So let's not lose the momentum we've gained and the insights gleaned from our work and from our collaboration with others. We can certainly do more for and with patients. As Brigitte mentioned, we should be a patient-focused business, whether your role is in sales or whether your role is in research. Thank you. If we put people at the centre of healthcare solutions, it's a springboard to even more, to even better future for all of us and future generations who will succeed us. And that's really where I want to focus the duration of my thoughts here tonight, and don't worry, it won't last very long. It's hard to feel I've spent 43 years in the industry, 33 years with Roche and 22 years here in Canada. Fundamentally, the company just forgot about me or didn't find me out, so I've been very fortunate with that. But I would like to see many of my peers who work in other organizations stay longer, and it's a shame it's a bit of a revolving door. I was sitting next to Kirsten tonight at AstraZeneca, and we're wondering in many months, Kirsten, you'll actually be here before you get called back to the mothership. But I think the tenure is a very important thing to lay down a foundation with government. Paul did it before me, Mark did it before me. We need people like Brigitte coming in as the new leaders of the industry to stay with us, give that tenure, and work in a trusting relationship with government. The work we do in this sector requires investment into relationships we build today to develop those relationships for the future. Now, today, Canada offers for the active environment of life sciences companies with first-rate academic institutions, those wide-reaching research networks, numerous partnerships, opportunities, and certainly lower costs. And in fact, many of the institutions Canada can boast are about right here in Ontario. But that wasn't always the case. Before I came to Canada, I had a meeting with our then chairman and CEO, Franz Schumer, and he said to me, quote, he says, the perception of Roche Canada is a sleepy, laid-back affiliate in a country of very smart, kind, but slow-moving people. Thank you, Franz. And he actually, at my retirement party, recently reminded of that particular comment. And funnily enough, at the end of that year, I had lunch with Joe Knott, whom many of you know, and Joe said, no one knows Roche. No one knows the president. They don't even know the name of the president of the company. Well, I think over the past 22 years, I've managed to change that perception. So, Joe, thank you for pointing that out. Now we are a global company. We operate highly successful businesses in pharmaceuticals and diabetes care and diagnostics. And Roche Canada is one of the global hubs for product development, employing more than 500 people, and we're about to employ another 500 people in pharma technical supply chain. And Damien, my colleague there, please give us a wave. Damien is in charge of that group. He moved from Switzerland to Canada a year or so ago, and Damien will be responsible for hiring those 500 positions, so good luck with that. And this is an important consideration because I always felt it was like Field of Dreams, you know, the Kevin Costner movie, build it and they will come. And I think if we take that philosophy, we can build it and they will come. We will compete against other parts of the world. So Canada is a home to very highly skilled, talented people, clearly. Maybe slow moving, maybe faster moving now. It's got high quality life sciences and healthcare solutions are being developed in this province and country, and we're growing and becoming internationally recognized. So, to what end, I'm very pleased to see the Government of Ontario newly released life sciences strategy. We're well positioned and we will attract and retain the best talent. But we need to do that to build a competitive economy. We did this so well to address the ongoing issue of PMPRB, and I think the most recent government announcement about the regulation is a positive step to ensuring that innovative medicines make their way to Canadians, but there's a lot of work still to be done to ensure the government acknowledges this critical connection between pricing, access, and better health outcomes for Canadians. There is a great power when the industry is aligned and it stands together. We've seen it, now we must continue to do more of it. You know, I think Mayor Crombie and before her, Mayor McCallion in Mississauga, they're very, very supportive to our industry. You know, Pill Hill, where Roche and GSK and Amgen are based, Gilead. This is an important consideration for the longer term, and I think to have government, provincial government supporters like this, municipal government is very important. So this is really what it's all about, making a difference to society, making sure innovation makes its way to those that need it in a timely manner. And this is what's fueled my passion for people. Being mentored to many colleagues and peers and watching them thrive is the greatest joy for any leader in the environment. Now, we're very excited that Brigitte is the new leader who's going to replace me. I've known her, as she said, for 20 years. She is a proud, passionate Canadian, and she hits the ground running because she understands the environment in which the industry has to thrive and work in. And I'm very proud of you, Brigitte. It's been a pleasure working with you all these years too, and trying to be your mentor, trying to get a word in edgeways and get heard, but that's fine. I look forward to seeing that success. Even though I'm going to look at it from the golf course, I'll be watching with great interest. But before I conclude tonight, I have to put a shout out to my wife Colette and her 3 daughters as well. She's very embarrassed, but she supported me every time I got on an airplane or traveled somewhere or went somewhere or did some other involvement in the industry. And she's also thinking, I'll also let you play a lot of golf. Very true, thank you very much. I love you so much, and I really, really appreciate the support. So thank you for that over the years. So finally, an old Scots toast, which I will translate from you, but it's basically, here's to us, who's like us, damn few, because they're all dead. And what that means is, here's to us, who's like us or who's as good of us, not many, because they're all dead. So health, happiness, and success to Life Sciences Ontario, and thank you again. I'm so humbled and honoured for this award. Thank you very much.
So many times I wish I could see what you see is so clear. So